Hey everybody and welcome back. This is HD and today we're going to be looking at one of the most anticipated games for the entire HDH Invitational. In fact, this is an epic rematch from the TSL. These two players have a lot of history together. It is none other than NonY versus IdrA. That is right, they are going to be facing off in the semifinals of the HDH Invitational. Both players have made it so far, have come so far already, and only one player, only one can advance onto the finals. The loser drops down for the third place match. And so without further ado, we're going to be looking at both of these players duking it out. It is going to be a best of 5. And so the first map is Kulos Ravine. And of course, always remember to check out our sponsor, IdrA. Go to Google, type in IdrA, and go check it out.
Alright guys, welcome to the HDH Round of 4 semifinals. We are going to be looking at none other than the epic rematch from the TSL, IdrA versus NonY. That is right, but today the venue has changed. It is going to be StarCraft 2.
Yes, we are going to have the TSL rematch, as everyone has been talking about. I cannot wait for this. I know I say that a lot, but this is seriously going to be one of the most epic matchups in StarCraft 2. As you just said, yeah, it's going to be a rematch of that TSL. I cannot wait to get this underway. This is going to be game number 1, and we got to say right off the bat, thanks to our sponsor IdrA for making these crazy games possible. So whenever you're ready, HD, I know I have been waiting for this day for a very long time.
Alright, with that, we're going to go ahead and kickstart the semifinals on the left side of the bracket. IdrA versus NonY. Sit back, good luck, have fun to both players, and relax, guys, as this game is about to get underway. Best of 5. First map is on Kulos Ravine.
IdrA and NonY not going to be relaxing here, that's probably for sure. And as we are loading up here, this is going to be a very tense moment as both players, I mean, they want to win this so bad. They want to advance to those finals to win that $2,000. I don't have any predictions on this since those roach nerfs could even this out a little bit, so we'll just have to wait and see. This is going to be extreme.
That is a good point to make, Mike, because, of course, the new roach nerf now making the roaches only 1 or 2 supply over 1. And that's huge for a player like IdrA who depends a lot on his roaches. Out of almost every Zerg game I've seen him play, he almost always uses roaches.
You could not be more correct. I think him and Artosis rather both do use those roaches very heavily. So here we go, man. It is underway. Bottom right side is NonY, the orange Protoss, and the green Zerg in the top right is going to be IdrA. Already his Overlord off to the wrong direction. But either way, man, we're going to see if he can overcome that nerf we were talking about. I think that's going to be a major part of this whole series.
Right, I do agree with you. Now, the map, because it is Kulos Ravine, very large map with 4 different spawn points. And one thing to note is it's difficult for a Protoss player to hold on to their natural expansion because of the fact that the ramps, or excuse me, the 2 edges here where you can actually attack, it's difficult to choke that off if you're a Protoss player. So that's something that the Zerg, IdrA, can actually exploit and not allow NonY to expand at will.
Yeah, exactly. Now, usually Zerg players will have a hard time securing that expansion, but that's against Terran, where there's going to be Hellions running all over the place. But it definitely could be, if IdrA changes his game up to a little more Zergling heavy, which he's not a Zergling fan, that definitely could play a role in this game.
Right, now we haven't seen him practice or really seen any of his tournament games as of late, post-patch 11. So I'm not sure if he's changed his strategy up. Do you think maybe he's going to depend a little bit less on roaches and more maybe on Zerglings and Hydras?
Well, like you said, we haven't seen, actually, IdrA, like you said, in his new, since the patch it just came out, so we aren't sure exactly what to expect, but I can tell you from a little bit of experience playing Zerg since the patch, which only came out a day or 2 ago, that roaches are still decent, they're still good, I wouldn't completely count them out, it's just you have to alter your builds quite a great deal to get those overlords out sooner.
Right, that is right. And one thing about NonY, we're just talking a little bit about the Protoss player now, is he's got a very unique build versus Zerg players, and we actually saw him use it to great effect against Moonglade in the HDH round of 16. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
That was basically, yeah, NonY coming out there with Phoenixes, which people think are worthless, but he makes them work. And I don't know how, but now they even buffed the Phoenix as well. They made it so it can actually shoot while moving. And so that's going to be a bit extreme here. Now, do note that IdrA not grabbing an extremely early expansion. He did get that way after his spawning pool, getting it right around the 15 mark. A little drone is out of position. Not sure what happened there. Gonna hurt his economy here just a little bit. But yeah, I would not be surprised to see NonY go that masked Phoenix build, especially since they made them so much easier to micro.
That is right. The Phoenixes are so easy to micro now, even being able to basically move and attack at the same time. That is huge for a Protoss player, so we might see NonY try that against IdrA. Now, it's important to note, IdrA has gone for his standard macro build, throwing down that 15 pull, also known as the IdrA, and then going into a 16 hatch, and now he's just thrown up his first gas. This is actually a very dominant macro build, and unchecked, it can really allow IdrA to just completely out-macro the Protoss player.
That is really true. I mean, I think it's IdrA doing a little gamble here, because like we've been saying, he really does like that heavy macro play. I mean, just looking at the units counting station right now, he only has 2 Zerglings, very minimal units right now, but really NonY isn't looking to be super aggressive. I mean, he's just now getting his second